The day Clara Mee arrived at Red Hollow Ranch, the dust clung to her dress like it already knew she wouldn't be leaving anytime soon. She stepped down from the stagecoach with a single suitcase, a folded job letter in her pocket, and the quiet determination of a woman who had learned early that survival didn't ask for permission. The ranch spread wide and unforgiving, rolling land, sunburned fences, and cowboys who looked at strangers the way wolves study fire. Clara wasn't there to be seen. She was there to cook. That was the job, 3 meals a day, no questions, no complaints. The foreman, a thick-shouldered man named Boone, barely glanced at her before pointing toward the cookhouse and saying, "If they don't complain, you'll keep the job." That was welcome enough. Inside the cookhouse, Clara found a battered stove, a cracked table, and the echo of meals cooked by women long gone. She rolled up her sleeves anyway. That first night she cooked beans the way her mother taught her, slow, patient, full of care, and when the cowboys sat down, something shifted. They ate in silence, then scraped their plates clean. One by one they nodded at her. Respect, not kindness, it was enough. Among the men was a quiet cowboy called Eli Carter. He sat apart, hat low, hands scarred, eyes always watching. He spoke less than any man there, but when he did, others listened. Clara noticed him because he never complained and never praised, yet he always came back for seconds. He helped mend fences, rode the roughest horses, and slept in the oldest bunkhouse. To Clara, he looked like every other tired man the West had carved down to the bone. She never imagined he was anything more. Days turned into weeks. Clara's food became the one thing that softened the ranch. Laughter returned, tempers cooled. Even Boone admitted, grudgingly, that she was worth her pay. But trouble has a way of riding in quietly. One evening, Clara overheard men talking about the land, how Red Hollow might be sold, how the true owner hadn't been seen in years. "Man owns this place outright," one cowboy muttered. "But he lives like a ghost." Clara didn't think much of it. Owners were always invisible. That's how power worked. What she didn't know was that the man they were talking about was already sitting at her table every night, wiping his hands on his jeans, pretending to be no one at all. The truth came out the day Red Hollow nearly burned to the ground. A cooking fire spread fast in the high wind, flames racing toward the barns. Cowboys shouted, horses screamed, and panic cracked the sky. Clara ran straight into the smoke, dragging water, coughing, refusing to stop. When the roof beam collapsed, it was Eli who pulled her free, wrapping her in his coat, shielding her with his own body. That was the moment Boone shouted the words that froze the entire ranch. "Eli, we need your permission. This is your land." Silence fell harder than the ash. Clara looked at Eli, really looked at him, and saw something she'd missed, authority worn thin on purpose. Eli Carter wasn't just a cowboy. He was the owner of Red Hollow Ranch, heir to land his father died defending, a man who chose to live as one of his workers because he didn't trust power that didn't understand hunger. Later that night, Clara tried to apologize, for speaking to him plainly, for ordering him around the kitchen, for not knowing who he was. Eli stopped her with a tired smile. "You fed men like they mattered," he said. "That's all I ever wanted this place to stand for." What followed wasn't a sudden romance, but something slower and stronger: respect, partnership. Eli rebuilt the ranch not as a kingdom, but as a home. He offered Clara more than a job, he offered her a future. She didn't accept because he owned land. She accepted because he knew the value of work, silence, and shared meals. In time, Red Hollow became known not for its size, but for its heart. And Clara Mee, once just a cook with a suitcase, became the woman who changed a ranch without ever knowing who owned it.